Raptors Digest, what's up and welcome back. Apologize for putting this out a little bit later than I typically do, but I needed some processing time for what happened last night. I had to sit on that one for a little bit, and it was Saturday, you wake up the next morning on Sunday, you get the scaries a little bit. What did I get up to last night? Well, you look at the scoreboard, 127 to 121 loss versus the Pistons in your building on a second night of a back-to-back for the visiting team. Not what you want to see whatsoever. It was painful, but I thank everyone who sat through the live stream with me. There were glimpses of good things in this game, which I'll definitely get to in my takeaways, but you end up with a net negative result here. Raps are 7-7 on the season, so not the worst situation to be in, but losses like this really make you question what the ceiling is on this team. I'm going to go ahead and give my breakdown in a moment, but first off, I got to get something going here right now. Flames are on. I'm on a bet streak again. Check that out. Pascal Siakam over 18.5 points. Scotty Barnes over 2.5 assists. We cash out on both of those. I thought Pascal would come back with a decent effort. He did. And Scotty Barnes, they are lowballing him with a 2.5 assist line. That's going to be clockwork. He's had 4 in, I think, the past 5 games. Scotty Barnes, don't sleep on the kid. But here we go. This is my version right now of what I saw out there last night for the Raptors. So Goran Dragic starting in the place of Fred VanVleet, who appears to be injured from his Sam Cassell celebration at the end of the Sixers game, out with a strained groin. Moving on though, Dragic comes in, I think does a pretty good job. Wasn't consistent all night, but had 16 points for us. Not a terrible performance for him, but definitely I think guys like Delano Banton impressed a little bit more for the expectations we have. We were down by 1 going into halftime. We end up closing that gap with a pretty good third quarter, but just blow this thing wide open in the fourth, and you see the end result. The Cade Cunningham, Scotty Barnes rookie showdown. That was pretty cool to see. They were going at each other all night. Scotty ends the game with just slightly better stats than Cade, but Cade was there all night and definitely got the last laugh with a big clutch bucket. I believe it was a lefty off of the glass. Pretty much a dagger to the Raps. Kem Birch comes back tonight, but still Yuta Watanabe out of the lineup. And as I said, Pascal Siakam with a little bit of a decent response. And Gary Trent Jr. staying hot. I believe he dropped at least 22 in the game, but I'll double check that line in a moment. First takeaway for me, the missed free throws. Detroit hit 26 of 30. Toronto was 20 of 31. So we shot 1 more free throw than they did, yet they had 6 more points off of the free throws. You look at the final score of the game, that's literally the difference. We lost by a deficit of 6, which could have been made up at the free throw line on a night where you go basically the same amount, but shoot 1 more shot than Detroit does from the stripe. Can't criticize the refs for everything, right? I know the officiating was a little bit suspect at points in that game, but this falls completely on our shoulders. Gimmies, whether it's under the rim or at the stripe, can be an issue for a young team who's got to, find their calming nerves and just get through the game the right way. We struggled last night, didn't convert as much at the stripe as you'd like to see, and that was a big story of the game for myself. Second takeaway, Pascal Siakam flirting with a triple-double, 25, 12, and 7. But it was a little bit of a mixed field game for Pascal. He was decently efficient. More hustle points. I remember he had a big offensive rebound and a putback and 1. That was huge for us. That kind of came in the clutch of the game. But Pascal Siakam also being 4 of 9 from the free throw line. He missed 4 of his 9 shots. He hit 5. And then he ends up fouling out of the game. So you look at that as probably a net negative, right? He's sending the other team to the foul line a ton. Gets 6 fouls, obviously, out of the game. And then, inversely, he's missing a ton of his shots, which was just collectively a problem for this team tonight. So you take the good with the bad. I think I speak for everybody when I say I'm just happy to see Pascal Siakam finding ways to contribute in a pretty balanced stat line for him. As I said, flirting with a triple-double, but nonetheless, he was rested tonight. That's why I bet on him. He delivered. Tough game, nonetheless. I'll just leave it at that. But hey, positive signs at least for Pascal, who's been struggling. We got to start dissociating him from his contract because it's easy to look at the $33 million a year player and feel like, this isn't what we paid for. But at the same time, okay, whatever, he's signed, he's here. Let's just let him find the rhythm of the game. And he was kind of cooking in the mid-range too. Even though there was more hustle points, he had that turned on pretty much all of last night. Takeaway number 3. This could have been my first or my last one just for big emphasis, but I'll throw it right here in the middle. Protect home court. You're 2-6 at home right now. I always go back to saying in Tampa, we just felt bad for ourselves all season saying, oh my gosh, we're energy players. We need a crowd to fire up. Obviously, it's tough being on the road. every game that season. But you come home and just home court's been no spoken advantage for this team whatsoever. I mean, like I said, Detroit coming in on the second night of a back-to-back, having I think the second worst record in the league, no expectations for them this year, and they take the game from you. You had rest, more rest than they did. You've got way better players. This is fully the Dwayne Casey curse in effect. Tough loss to stomach here, especially considering the situation. Takeaway number 4. Delano Banton is a steal. Puts up 12, 3, and 2. This guy's back to back to back. He played against the Sixers, then gets the brief G League assignment, right? Let your rookie get his touches. They send him to the G League to play for the 905 against the Knicks affiliate team. Not only does he get the W, but drops the 30 piece. I think he had like 10 assists and 7 rebounds. Super balanced line for him. Really just a complete performance from Delano Banton. And then last night, he goes out there. He drops, like I said, 12 points. You can notice his length all night. Kem Birch likened him to Sean Livingston, which I thought was a pretty cool comparison. Seems spot on so far, and he even splashes a 3 last night. At times, I've worried about his shooting, trying to keep the defense honest, but he pulled up, got a big bucket, and not to mention, he was just like going coast to coast, behind the back dribbles. Delano Banton really impressed, and as much as I've been critical of Nurse's decision to give, way more benefit of the doubt to the rookie in Banton, who went 46th overall, again, like I said, a steal. I've always been saying I wanted Malachi Flynn to get more opportunity. However, I can't knock it at this point. Delano Banton is the bench point guard of the future. This is a takeaway for me of this game. And takeaway number 5, don't break out the kazoo. But I'm telling you right now, the top 4 seed is an unreasonable expectation for this group. Tonight, I get it's a one-off loss that you can just hopefully burn the tapes on and move on. But still, it happened. This is saying something about our group and how ready we really are going to be. A team in a contending situation takes care of last night 10 out of 10 times. I think that we need to temper the expectations. It's going to be nicer to build these guys up and have fair expectations of them, opposed to seeing that 5-game win streak we went on and automatically assuming that this is going to be a top 4 seed year. I know Ben and Riker have given their hot takes, but I might need to hop off of that bandwagon for now. I think the playoffs are still definitely a likely possibility. However, I can't see this team is anywhere close to contending, and I'm sure as a realist in you would agree. It's not happening. I think this loss definitely speaks volumes about where the ceiling is on this team. But this, in years to come, we'll definitely figure it out, find our rhythm. But this puts a damper on what's otherwise been an okay start to the season. You got to take care of the home court, and last night was a gimme that you gave up. Well, guys, that's my takeaways. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I appreciate you tuning in, as always. We're having a ton of fun on the live stream, betting a little bit of money, making a little bit of money. We're 5-2 on the live stream bets. So tune in, bet responsibly, and I'll see you guys for next game. Signing off.